we saw the concept of data abstractions. Okay, what's that? Who will tell me what is data abstractions? Yes, data abstractions, hiding irrelevant details from the user, is nothing but the data abstractions. Yes, we also saw the uh, example of Gmail as well as ATM machines, car, driving of the car. Okay, have you remember the concept or not? After that, we saw the concept of levels of abstractions. There are three levels: physical level, logical level, as well as the view level. Physical level is the lowest level of abstractions. Uh, Here, the actual data is stored. Okay, and DBA, that is the database administrator, has the authority to handle the physical level. Then next is the logical level. Level is the middle level. Hmm? It has more abstraction than the physical level and less abstraction than the view level. Okay, so if you want to design a database, structure of the database, then by using logical level we can do that, and programmer are work on that level as well as DBM. After that, the topmost level is the view level. Okay, it this level has the highest level of the abstraction. As a end user or customer, we are dealing with the view level only. Okay, till now, is there any doubt? Whether the screen is visible to everyone? Yes. Just wait. Screen is visible. At least say yes, no. How should I
No.
get? Okay, thank you for the response. Up to this, we covered the points. See the example here. The last bottom, there is an internal level. It's also called as a physical level. At middle, that is the conceptual as well as the logical level, and the topmost is the view level. It's also called as a external level. See over here, we can see the user data, that is the employee salary, and in that the employee ID and amount. Okay, this is the view for the end user. What is in conceptual level or the logical level? In which way we are designing the table? Here, for that we are here creating the table, that is the create table employee, salary. This is the table name, and the attributes of this table is the employee id as well as the amount. Okay, same data, and at different level how it going to look. Okay, and at the end, the internal level and physical level, here actual data is stored into the format of bits bytes. Okay, and how much size is required for that. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Now, now come to the next point. Database language. This is the new point. As we know, the language is used for communications between two peoples, a number of person, like English, Hindi, Marathi. It is the media, it's the communication media. Okay, suppose you want to communicate any computer. Okay, for that we are also using technical language like C++, as well as the Java, .NET. But here now we want to communicate the database. Yes, database is a system, also one kind of the software, DBMS. Okay, at the first lecture we saw it's a software tools. So we want to communicate with that. So how do we communicate with that system? So there is a special language, that is the database language. So it is a communication medium. To communicate with a database, we are using the database language, and these language is used to store, read, and update the database. The database language is used to store, read, and update database. You want to create a table. After that you want to store a data on that table. You want to just read the table. Want some change, make changes in that table. So all these activity can be performed using the language, that is the commonly used language is the SQL. Okay, there are several such languages that can be used for this purpose. One of them is SQL, that is the structured query language. There are in the market n number of languages are available, but SQL is the one of the most popular language. Then here you know the concept of the structure, means some kind of structure we have to apply. We will see all these things in detail while we will learn the SQL. Okay, and here the query is something new for you. So what do you mean by query? Query is a request for data or information from database, table, or combination of the table. Query is nothing but request for data or information. I am just repeating the one more time. It's a request for a data or information from database table. Okay. Suppose you want to uh, googling something, on Google search engine. Huh? Then what are you were typing? According to that, the information will get displayed. That means you are requesting to the Google search engine. Yes, I want this one, and according to that, that will get displayed. Okay. Then Then types of database language. See, SQL is one of the language, but command, according to the commands we are using or we are applying or to a database, according to that there are different types of language. SQL is a one single language, just commands are categorized into the other different language. Are you getting? Here these languages are divided according to the commands. So DDL stands for data definition language. DCL stands for data control language. DML stands for data manipulation language. And TCL stands for transaction control language. Okay? Yes, just note down these points. DBMS language and the four types of language: DDL, DCM, DCL, DML, TCL. These type of long forms may ask in the exam. Now let's see each and every language in detail. First one is data definition language. It is used to define database structure or pattern. See, as language work, as according to command work, the each and every name has given to the every language, that is the data definition language. Means what? Here we are defining, describing something. Something means we are defining the tables, we are defining the schema, indexes, constraint. So that's why uh, this is called as a data definition language. Here we are defining the database structure, database schema, design or pattern. Okay. So that's why we are say here the data definition language. Using the DDL statements, you can create the skeleton of the database. DDL, that is the data definition language, is used to store the information of metadata like the number of tables and the schemas, their name, indexes, column, etc. in the each table. I think there is one of the new word that is for you, that is the metadata. Have you heard the metadata before this? Metadata in any other subject? Hello, I'm just asking simple questions. Yes, metadata, have you heard before this? Yes, no, no idea.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for the response. Metadata. Metadata means what? Data about data. We are storing the data about data. Confused? Let me explain. See, database is the collection of data, hmm, and which is well organized into the form of tables. So any database is the collection of tables which are related with each other. Okay. Database is the collection of data which are related with each other. Say, see, let's see the example of your college database, which may include the student info, teachers info, as well as the admin stuff. Hmm? Then you want to first create the student data. Then for that you are creating the table. Okay. So in that table, first you have to define the type of the table, which attributes going to included in that table, their names. Okay, that means what? And we have to store all these things in particular database. Creating and storing is different part. Storing the data into the table, that is the different part. But before that you have to store the information of the table, that is the size of table, what's data that included in that table, purpose of that table. Means we are storing the information or data about the data. Here table is the data, and we are storing the information about the table. Getting my points? Particular, how many tables, sorry, how many tables included in particular database? What's the schema? Schema means overall design of the database. That is nothing but the database schema. Table names, indexes, columns. Okay. Are you clear with the concept of metadata or not? Or may I repeat one more time? Hello. Okay, repeat it, ma'am. Okay. See, the short definition of metadata is what? It is a storage. Huh? Of what? It store the data. It also store the data about the data. It store the data. Huh? Suppose your college database having three tables, just simple three tables. Table 1 student info, table 2 teachers info, and table 3 it's admin staff info. Okay, so then while using any table, you randomly entered information to any table? No. So how you going to come that the we have to enter the student info into the student table? Because of that table name, design of the schema of that table. Okay, so that table name, size of that table, how many columns or attributes are involved uh, in that table, that should be also stored into somewhere. See, 3 टेबल्स आहेत. त्या टेबलची इन्फॉर्मेशन की तो टेबल, प्रत्येक टेबल कशासाठी आहे, पहिला टेबल कशासाठी आहे, दुसरा टेबल कशासाठी आहे, तिसरा टेबल कशासाठी आहे, हा, आणि त्याची साईज काय आहे, प्रत्येक टेबलची साईज काय आहे, पर्पज काय आहे, डिझाईन काय आहे, हे पण आपल्याला एका वेगळ्या टेबलमध्ये स्टोअर करावं लागतं. हा. आणि तो जो वेगळा टेबल आहे, जो बाकीच्या टेबलची इन्फॉर्मेशन ठेवतोय, दॅट इज नथिंग बट द मेटा डेटा, डेटा अबाउट डेटा. नाउ आर यू क्लिअर विथ द कन्सेप्ट, or may I repeat one more time? I think it's enough now. Just respond me. Yes, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear now? Okay. Thank you. That's why it's called as the, it store the data about data. Okay. Here are some tasks that comes under DDL. That is create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, and comment. See, in DDL language, you can design or create table. All the operations are performing on the table. ओके. आपण तुम्ही टेबलवर काम करता की आतला जो डेटा आहे हा नंतरचा पार्ट झाला. जो टेबल आहे तर त्याच्यावर तुम्ही काम करताय की तो टेबल क्रिएट करायचा, की केलेला टेबल चेंज करायचा आहे, अल्टर करायचा आहे, किंवा तो ड्रॉप करायचा आहे, काढून टाकायचा आहे. तर या सगळ्या गोष्टी हा मेन टेबलवर तुम्ही काम करता इन DDL. Suppose you want to create a new table. At that time, you are using the create command. Now, all these are the commands which comes under the DDL. And why it's called as a definition? Because of we are performing the operation on the table. Okay, we are performing the operation on the table design. So want to create a new table, then you have to use create command. It is used to create object in the database. Alter, if there is already one table is present and suppose you want to add new column, that is the address of the students. Already name, roll number and marks are present. Address column you want to add into the table. At that time, existing table, huh? Then you have to use alter command because you are changing the design, altering the design. Okay. See, while you want to stitch new cloth, then at that time you are using the word stitch. And after that, if there are changes, then after that you can see the word alter. Okay, because it's existing. Relate these words. Then drop. It is used to delete the object from the table, from the database. Okay. Suppose you want to delete whole table from the database. Database is the collection of table, and you want to delete a few of few number of tables from that database. Then at that time you can use drop command. Then truncate. It is used to remove all records from the table. Okay. Then rename. It is used to rename an object. Then comment. It is used to comment on the data dictionary. Okay. If you suppose you want to give the comment to a particular data, for what purpose you are using that table, all these things, then you can use the comment command. The next one is the data manipulation language. Now, if you want to manipulate, which kind of manipulation? You want to insert a new record into the table. Ins- Suppose you want to insert new student info into the table. That time, use insert command. You want to select topmost five marks which are who students have a topper in the exam. You want to select that these students, then at that time you can use select command, then update. It is used to update the existing data within a table. Then suppose you want to delete a records, all or few records, then delete command is used. As well as the merge, it performs the upsert operations like insert or update operations. Means any kind of manipulation on data, not on table. Okay, data which is present into a table and you want to manipulate that. Which kind of manipulation? Select, insert, update, delete, merge. Then you have to use data manipulation language and commands. It is used to accessing the and manipulating data in the database. It handles user request. Here are some DML command. Just note down these commands. Any doubt in DML? Is there any doubt? Okay. Now move to the next slide. Next one is data control language. That is the DCL. DCL is used for granting and revoking user access on a database. Granting and revoking user access on a database. So grant to grant access to user and revoke to revoke access from user. See, nowadays everyone using the WhatsApp. Just for concept point of view, just take an example. Um in single group, there is a one or more admins who has a different authority other than members. Okay, because he has the admin permissions, and one admin um take back a permission of other admin. Hmm? That is nothing but the revoke. That is to revoke access from user. Taking permission back from the user, that is nothing but the revoke. And grantings means applying or giving access to a particular user or giving permission to the user. That is the data control language. Just for clearing the concept very well, I'm giving this example. Okay, then transaction control language, that is the TCL. Okay, the changes in the database that we made using DML. Okay, you have made some changes in permission, huh? And commands are either perform or rollback using TCL. Okay, here are some tasks that come under the TCLs. That is the commit. It is used to save the transaction on the database. And rollback, it is used to restore the database to the original since the last commit. See, using ATM machine or Google Pay, if you are performing any transactions, after that, uh, at the end, if it is confirmed, then come, that is nothing but the commit command. And you cancel the transaction within certain mm, limited time of period, then it is a rollback one. It is used to restore the database to the original since the last commit. Okay, are you getting the concept? Everyone is with me? Yes, is there any doubt? Just note down these points. What is database language? Then type of database language, its long form. After that, data definition language, commands under the data definition language, purpose of the DDL. Then data manipulation language, purpose of the data manipulation language. Then commands which comes under the data manipulation language. DCL, that is the data control language, and the transaction control language. Our meeting will end in less than 1 minute. Okay, just rejoin one more time. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Next point is the database architecture. Database architecture. Here, according to the database design, depends on its database architecture. Mostly, the basic client server architecture is used to deal with a large number of PCs, web servers,